Hi, it's Eldon from the Mind Body Project. Welcome back to day number 5. So day number 5. So 10 reasons why NLP New Code is better than therapy. In my opinion anyway. Yeah. So number 5 then is NLP New Code creates high performance states. Yeah. You may have seen on the videos me doing games with people, playing games. So if you look at neuroscience, what they do is they a thing called transcranial magnetic stimulation. So when you go in there, they've got people with anxiety, put them in, and I've done one of these for my shoulder, by the way, and they will actually do magnetic resonance around the brain. And what they found is that anxiety is like working one side of the brain. Yeah, and you may have seen something with depression work in certain areas of the brain as well. Yeah, and bipolar, so you may have seen that. So what I do, again, I don't, people at that point go, that means there's something wrong with you. No. That means you're in a certain state of consciousness. Yeah, again, what I said before, I don't see that as something wrong with you. I just see that as you getting a result that you don't want to have. So how do we change it? I don't sit there and go, there's something wrong with you. That's the point. So the NLP New Code games is what I will do to fix that. Because you play these games where you're doing cross hemisphere, yeah, elbow to opposite knee, while reading out something, by breaking all these patterns. Remember I said about these patterns? Physiology, focus, and language patterns. Yeah. So for you to get an anxiety state, you have to be your physiology has to be doing something. Yes, you have to be standing there in a certain way, maybe shoulders back. Your breathing's definitely going to be shallow breathing. Yeah. Your eyes are going to be in a certain position. Your body's going to be a certain posture. You're going to be focusing on something. So you remember what I said about these pictures that you have in your head. There might be a massive image of something really worrying you. Very focused image with lots of colour in there. Very bright image. It might be right there in front of you, panicking you. And language patterns, you might be saying something to yourself. It might be very, very, very quick. Help me, oh my God. It might be like that going in your head. It might be very loud. It might be coming from a certain direction. It might be coming from that direction. It might be coming all round. It might feel like loads of people are shouting at you. So that needs to be broken. That's what's causing that thing in your mind. So when you look at the magnetic resonance, that is what's causing all these things that you're doing are what's causing that end result. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means you're doing something to get that end result. So if I do something different, or if I break these patterns, which these NLP New Code games do, then I'm going to feel differently. Yeah, if I do something different, I'm going to feel differently. Now, what these games allow you to do is, because I'm doing elbow to opposite knee, cross hemisphere, both sides of the brain are going to start working. Yeah, because I'm doing something, so I'm doing that whilst reading out an alphabet game, or I'm doing it with juggling the balls, gem ball, doing word association whilst doing all these type of movements, then your brain has to change to be able to play the games. Now these games are graded up, so it starts from condition 1, which is relatively simple. Condition 2 gets a bit harder, condition 3 gets a bit harder, condition 4 is quite difficult. But because you change state as you're going along, you're able to play the game. And the good thing about, from a practitioner point of view, is that you can actually, you're judging a person's state by how well they're playing the game. If they're playing the game really well, you can move them up a level. If they're struggling, you can move them down a level. So it's something that you can actually do, but you get them as high up as you can, breaking all of these patterns for about 30 minutes. Yeah, very, very quickly. You're doing it over and over and over and over again. Repetition. Yep, so you're putting in a new habit very, very quickly. and then you collapse the old state of anxiety. It's gone and it's replaced with a high performance state. Now this high performance state, it feels like, you know, when you're performing absolutely amazing and someone asks you, how is it that you're doing this today? You're on it today. You're just in a zone. That's the state. But just imagine being that state for the spins that you're struggling at. Because what happens is your behaviours change. Yeah, all of a sudden things are different. Now, as the practitioner, I don't know what will happen because your unconscious mind is control. You might have multiple new behaviours that happen. But people notice. And you can see this from me working with clients. You can look at the videos, NLP New Code games videos that I've done with people. And people are shocked. They're really, really shocked by how quick this happens.
I don't feel anything.
Okay.
As if it's become irrelevant. How wild is that? Is that what's supposed to be? Fucking hell, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's very, very quick. So that is why NLP New Code is better. Therapy, the problem I have with therapy, and this is a big problem when you're talking about state, because I know now, because of doing this for so long, that it's about changing your state. Anxiety is a state. Depression is a state. Phobia is a very heightened state, or panic attack is a state. They are states of consciousness. So all my job is, if you look at it this way, in a nutshell, my job is to get you from those states to a really good state most of the time. So you're feeling this most of the time, and I have to get you to feel that most of the time. So first thing I have to do is break the patterns of these, break them, so you can't get them back. Then replace it with a good state. You can't just stop doing these with having nothing there to replace them. Your default position is negative. So you have to have something else to come in. And that is, in therapy, that is what they do not do. They don't know how to do it for themselves, let alone you. And that's my problem with therapy. But with the NLP New Code games, I give you a high performance state where you're in the zone, where you're performing well, and that replaces these conditions.